Let's get ready to rumble.
Yes, we're back. It is episode 1. I just bashed my telly there on top of there when I lifted my arm. That's a great start to the podcast. It's episode 110. It's a Christmas episode of the Hibs Ramble.
Let's go.
We're coming at you with some festive flair today and a wee bit of spring in our step because for the second week on the bounce, we are coming to you after we've picked up 3 points at the weekend. Absolutely incredible. Shaun, I see you got a little bit of tinsel. You got the Christmas spirit alive and well in the Corrigan household.
Absolutely. Mr. Christmas over here. Absolutely love it. Cannot wait.
Any Christmas traditions for today and tomorrow? Today being the 23rd, tomorrow being the 24th, depending on when you're listening.
Christmas Eve, I always have a big scran, like loads of like mini bites and stuff like that. And what end the night by having cheese and crackers and watching the Gremlins.
Oh, the Gremlins, is that your Christmas Eve movie?
That's Christmas Eve movie, yeah. What about you?
Yeah, well, I don't know what we're going to do this Christmas Eve. I don't know what movie we're going to watch. It changes every year, but I've been heavy pedaling for Miracle on 34th Street. That's my favourite Christmas movie.
I watched that last week. Watched it last week.
Megan doesn't like it. Megan thinks it's not very good.
Cool.
So I'm hoping that she'll, let the Christmas spirit take over. And
I'm assuming it's the 90s one you're referring to.
The one with Richard Attenborough.
Aye.
Not the old one.
No.
I don't think I've actually ever seen that one. It's a good one. No, we were actually at we took the kids to Almond Valley near Livingston yesterday to see Santa, and it was a good Santa, and they looked like Richard Attenborough's Santa Claus from Miracle on 34th Street. So it was very nice to see. But yeah, Christmas time. What are you up to on Christmas Day?
Probably ending up in a food coma at the end of it. Not looking forward to that, but probably looking forward to Boxing Day just as much.
Oh, well, we'll chat about that after we've spoken about absolutely demolishing the Dons in Pittodrie. An excellent result, Shaun. Really, something that we really needed. We needed to build on the momentum that we started to gain before the Celtic game. We kind of knew Celtic would maybe be a little bit of a free hit. I know you don't like that turn of phrase, but Motherwell, we beat them 3-0, and then I think we can just kind of forget the Celtic game. Then we beat Ross County last weekend. I feel like we really needed to keep this positive run going, and I was kind of expecting that we would go up there and put in a shift. I wasn't certain that we'd come away with the 3 points, but I was very hopeful.
I really, really, really fancied us at the weekend, and that was before I seen the team. I just feel like Aberdeen at the minute are on a downward trajectory, and whereas I feel like we're on an upward trajectory in regards to we've had a lot more positive moments and positive performances in comparison to them. They're, from a form perspective, are on a poor run of form as well, and the performances just haven't quite been up to scratch. So I know we won away at Aberdeen last season when David Gray when we won 2-0, but going up there and getting a positive result is very, very rare for us. Maybe not as much in recent seasons, but overall. So to sit there and say that I was really, really confident and really fancied us might come as a surprise to some people, but yeah, that was my logic behind it.
Well, I was more hopeful than confident, to be honest. I just kind of thought we'd been playing well of late, so what's to stop us going up there and kind of taking a scalp, as some people would say. I feel like the real turning point of the season, I spoke about this with Mark last week as well, it was that 3-3 at Easter Road with Aberdeen as well. And I think David Gray spoke about it in his post-match after Ross County, and he was saying that it was so much more than just a point. It was like psychologically really boosted the players, elevated confidence, it let them have a spring in their step around the training ground, and it gave them, tenfold belief which I think we've seen now in recent weeks when we've gone out and we've maybe not been playing amazingly well, but we've been scoring goals, we've been winning games, and at the end of the day, that's what we needed to get us out of that situation at the bottom of the table.
Yeah, I think for me the turning point is Jordan Abita's red card away to Dundee. That for me is what um, has kind of sparked the change. Um, Before Jordan got sent off, you could probably argue that we were the better team, but obviously, upon reflection, against 10 men, playing with 10 men, we obviously then got an absolute doing from them, and rightfully so, because the rest of the game we were absolutely atrocious. And yes, we've had
I've
individual
kind of
errors
erased that from my memory,
week in, week out,
traumatic experience.
but from that performance, I think David Gray had identified, right, I really need to change something. I need to maybe start playing the best 11 rather than the best individuals and try and get a formation that works for what we've got for the right balance. I think what's also helped bring us maybe into a much better position is the fact that the performances that we've put in since then have been against better opposition, against, I was going to say, sides that are above us, but at that point everyone was above us. But like against Aberdeen and Celtic and Motherwell and things like that, you're playing teams that are on a good run of form and have been doing well this season. So the fact that we were able to change to like a 3-4-3 or a 3-4-2-1, fluid, whatever you want to call it, I think the fact that the nature of the performances against the sides is what's helped.
Do you think that did you think that Gray had it in him to kind of that tactical sort of adaptability and fluidity that we hadn't really seen at the start of the season, but as weeks have gone on, and I think probably as he gets to know the players more and what the players can give to him, especially the new ones, like you look at Nicky Cadden coming in and Junior Hoyle at Dwight Gale, all offering things that the players that were here last season didn't have. I think maybe it's just taking a little bit of time for David Gray to kind of get his feet sort of settled and stuck into what he wants to do and how he's actually going to do it with this group.
Yeah, and I think his hand's been forced at times because you look at like Kieran Bowie getting injured, that wouldn't have been on his cards. Joseph Bursick having clanger after clanger, that wouldn't have been on his cards. Ekpiteta and O'Hora maybe taking time to adjust and then maybe having a few mistakes in them themselves. All these individual errors that we've had, you can't really put on David Gray. And what I've liked in recent weeks is he's taken the players that are in the firing line out, apart from LUM. And I can understand why he's not taking him out the firing line because he's been performing well. But in recent weeks, he's taken the players out of the firing line, and I think that has helped the squad as a whole, and I think it's helped give us more confidence as well.
Yeah, for sure. So we'll chat about the game now, everyone. Just before you thought that we wouldn't actually talk about the game, but so I mean, I think it took a wee bit of time for us to maybe wake up and get settled into the game. Aberdeen scored an early goal, kind of showing Shaun that we've still got a wee bit of defensive frailty at times. I mean, we can go there with confidence and belief, but I think what's important is that we don't get complacent. You look at O'Hora dives in and kind of sells the jerseys and lets what's his name, Neskinen,
Yep.
the Finnish fella, lets him through. And to be fair, at the end of the day, it's probably he'd probably be pretty chuffed with that goal because he runs half of the park, turns Bashiri inside out, and it's a really nice finish in the bottom corner. But it's a bit of a poor goal to concede.
Yeah, especially if you've got three centre halves as well. So I can understand O'Hora maybe wanting to be a little bit over keen and try and stop that attack. He's obviously fancied himself to get there and he's misjudged it. Whereas a lot of our other individual errors so far this season have been us maybe not switching on and maybe not being alert to what is going on around us and maybe reacting too late. Whereas in this instance, it looks like he's reacted too fast and too early, and he's made a lapse of judgment in the wrong direction rather than being too late to go in. and make that. So that's my take on that. But then even then, once he's out of the picture and they're past him, we should, as a back line, be able to kind of get in a decent enough shape to be able to stop it. I know the boy's got lots of space, and I know Rocky comes over. I do feel like we could have maybe defended it a wee bit better just by instead of kind of running back in a wee bit more of a straight line, kind of angle our run to try and close off the angle for the player. If we could have potentially been able to do that, I don't know how fast the lad is in comparison to our defenders, but you can kind of get away with lapses in judgment like that and mistakes like that when you've got three at the back, but you need your other two centre halves to understand what their positioning then needs to be if or when that kind of mistake happens.
Because it's not like it happened just at the edge of the box. It's more or less inside the centre circle or just to, Aberdeen's left of the centre circle. I mean, if O'Hora wins that challenge and gets the ball, then we're applauding it for, fantastic. He's seen a chance, he's taken it, and he's sparked an attack. But that's the risk that you run when you go for challenges like that and when you play on an edge, like he was doing at that point. But no, I think that we probably should have and could have defended it better. He runs for a good 10, 15 seconds to get to the position where he shoots from, and I think he chops it back as well on his right foot. So there's plenty of time for Iredale and Rocky to get over there, and I think it maybe does take a wee nick off of Rocky on the way
it
in,
looks
but
like it does.
it's just one of these. You're not going to stop them every single week. It's frustrating to watch, yes, but we've got to kind of be realistic here. This is Hibs we're talking about. This isn't 1990s AC Milan when they only conceded like 15 goals or something in the season. We concede goals like this. But the most important thing, I think, Shaun, was the way in which we responded, and we responded right away, which has been a little bit of a characteristic that we've seen of this team over the last few years, maybe, is being able to respond well quickly. I mean, especially against Aberdeen. But it's a pretty route one ball. I can't remember who played the ball through, if it was O'Hora or Iredale or Rocky, what one of the centre halves. But nice flick on from Josh Campbell. Rubizic taking a freshie at it, letting Boyle in, and Ewan's not going to miss for there, is he?
No, but I did have the fear at that point because I felt like he had maybe been a bit too lackadaisical on the ball. But you're absolutely right in what you say, like the reaction for the players, especially recently. And I think a huge part of that will be, apart from the Celtic game, where you could argue we probably should have scored three chances or 3 goals from the chances that we got. Again, since that Dundee game, we've scored 3 in every game. And long may that continue. Like, not only are we creating enough chances, but we're putting chances away, which for a very long time, our Hibs side or Hibs sides of the past have been criticised for not being able to put chances away, not being able to create enough. Earlier on in the season, that was the case. We weren't creating enough. And for the last 2 or 3 seasons, at times, we've not been creating enough. I can't remember, prior to this little run of fixtures, the last time that we consistently scored kind of 3 in a match or 3 within a month in more than one game.
Yeah.
So the fact that we've been able to do it in 4 of our last 5 is great. And what's impressing me as well is that we're becoming more clinical. So if you look at the chances that we've created in the last 5 fixtures, our shot completion rate or more shot on target completion rate is getting better, and our conversion rate is getting better as well. So it's not as if we're having 20 shots and of those 20 we're only getting 15 on target, but we're only managing to score like 2 or 3. We're actually putting a higher percentage away, which is great. And like I said, this is exactly where we want our attacking our attackers, to be going into what is arguably one of our biggest fixtures of the season.
Yeah, I mean, I think you've got to put the credit to David Gray and the players for obviously putting in the hard yards on the training park. We've said numerous times throughout the season, Shaun, that the problem, like you said, was being nowhere near clinical enough. You look at the Dundee United game at home, the Dundee United game away, Motherwell game at home, just to name a few, where, I mean, we really should have been out of sight, and that's what kind of stumped me for a long time about how we were where we were because of the amount of chances that we were creating. And I'm thinking if you could just put a handful of those away, then you're in a half decent position in the league, and then we're starting to do that now. So the players have obviously clicked. David Gray's obviously clicked, and something is starting to. The gears are starting to move now, and something's starting to work, which is brilliant because the players that we've got, we should never have been in that position in the first place. So, I mean, on paper, we've got one of the better squads in the division, out with the Old Firm and probably Aberdeen. We've probably got the best squad. But I mean, why is it taking until Christmas for them to wake up?
I don't know. I don't know. I think we've obviously got a lot of weakened areas in the pitch. You could probably still argue centre mid, centre half, and the goalkeeping is still a very weak area in comparison to your Aberdeens and Hearts, Aberdeen in particular. But it comes back to David Gray changing the shape and getting the best out of the players in that shape. He's identified that shape is the best for us to be able to create and defend better. He knows it inside out because we've seen David Gray at his best in that shape. We
Yep.
saw a very, very successful Hibs side in that shape as well. So he knows how to get the best out of that shape as well. And yeah, now we're starting to create a lot of chances. Sorry, and we're now starting to see a lot of goals as well. And it comes as no surprise. We've said on this podcast for months that how can we not be scoring goals when you've got the likes say Kukarevic, Hoylett, Gale, Boyle, Yuan, just to name a few, and then you've got Josh Campbell chipping in with goals again. So it's really, really good to see. And yeah, just long may it continue. I'm just praying
Yeah,
it continues into Thursday.
yeah, exactly. I mean, just to touch on Elia and there, the sort of strength that he's shown the last few weeks and the performances that he's put in. He clearly wants to be here. He clearly wants to do his best for the club. And is it really, Shaun, any coincidence that we're starting now to pick up points and results when Eli Yuan is playing consistently?
Well, no, not really, because when your better or best players play and play well, most of the time your team plays well and you get the right results. Whether he wants to be here or not, he is here.
Certainly looks like he was
And
happy to be there at full
he
time,
just loves
waving the
he just
flag
loves
about.
he just loves football. Whether he enjoys being here or not is a different conversation. And there's probably times that he probably doesn't enjoy being here, considering some of the stuff that's happened in the last year and a half. But at the minute, he's in a good vein of form. He's performing well, and a lot of the good stuff that we do since he joined the club comes
Comes
through
through
him.
him. Yeah, absolutely. Second goal, we scored it in the first half. I felt like when watching it, the determination and the eagerness to get onto second balls and loose balls was something that we've not seen an awful lot of this season, and that's probably the reason that we had Aberdeen on the back foot was that the amount that we forced them into making mistakes. We see that obviously again in the second half when Martin Boyle scores, but second goal, absolutely what a strike, man! Martin Boyle back to his brilliant best, jinking his cell down the right hand side and a lovely dinked cross over to Nicky Cadden, who brings the boom and scores an absolute thunderbolt. Nicky Cadden, he's allergic to not scoring goals at the moment, eh?
You've been waiting days to do that, haven't you?
Absolutely, man.
I've never been more embarrassed in my life.
I'm sure you have, and I'm sure
No,
you will
I
be.
most definitely have. Yeah, we spoke about him at the start of the season, being like, "Oh, what kind of player is he going to be like? How are we going to utilize him?" And again, I think it comes down to the change in shape. Whether he's part of the front three or whether he's the wing back, he's very, very good at both ends of the pitch. In particular, obviously going forward, he's 4 goals now. I think he is our top goal scorer. Becoming a wee bit of a trademark aeroplane celebration from him as well. So
Mm.
yeah, no, very, very happy to see him in such a rich vein of form as well. And listen, if we've got him doing well on one side and his brother doing well on the other side, then I think we're in a good place. I do like it when he's a little bit further forward, but at the
Yeah,
same time, I think him and Ellie Yuan down that left have a good understanding together as
yeah.
well. And I'm just happy we've finally got someone that can hit a decent set piece again.
This is it though. You're touching there. He can do left wing back. He can do a little bit further forward. I think it's something that we've not had that gap being plugged at someone who can do both of those things since Martin Boyle played at wing back on the other hand side, and probably even back to David Gray as well. Like David Gray, I mean, obviously never played at right wing, but he he was an attacking wing back who loved to get forward and put in a half decent cross. So I'm just glad that he's doing well. I was happy when we signed him in the summer. I'm sure Chris was happy as well when we signed him. But listen, I don't think anyone could have predicted how well he's been playing. I thought he was going to be maybe just a bit part sort of squad player. Um, but it's turned into that he's actually our talisman and he might even win the Ballon d'Or. With goals like that, it's not going to harm his chances, Shaun. Good finish though, eh? Good finish.
Rumours have it that the Tynecastle groundsmen are already working on the pitch down in the bottom corner of the Roseburn in preparation for his mighty knee slide that he's going to do when he bags a 30-yard free kick on Thursday. So
Lee Griffiths-esque.
exactly that.
Wouldn't mind it, mate. Wouldn't mind it. Wouldn't mind it at all. Let's talk about the third goal, shall we? And then we can move on to listener questions. Third goal again. Spoke about it earlier on, forcing Aberdeen into making mistakes, and the ball falls to Triantis in the middle of the park, who by all accounts had a decent game as well. Someone who's taken a little bit of stick, especially from myself and Mark last week on the pod. Turned it round on Saturday and ended up having a half decent game. Twinkle toes in the middle of the park and slots Martin Boyle through. And this is the Martin Boyle of old. Seen him slot ones past the goalie, trying to run in behind, getting in behind the defender as well, and composure 99 to finish it off.
Correct. Yeah, I'm not yet there in regards to buying into Martin Boyle back at his best because it's one game. Yes, he was fantastic. He takes his finish really well, gets a couple of assists as well, which is great, and it is the Martin Boyle of old. I don't know what the rationale was for keeping him out the team the last 3 or 4 weeks. If it was still down to maybe his arm causing him jep, or if it was other knocks, or if it was just an upturn in form and David Gray wanted to just continue with the same side. But I still find it strange that when we were looking for goals in previous games and we were maybe screaming out for a wee bit of pace, he wasn't being the one to be called on until like the final
Yeah.
5 minutes. Don't know if I'm reading too much into it, but David Gray, if anyone in that club knows how to get the best out of Martin Boyle, it'll be him. Do you know what I mean? You've alluded to it already. Martin Boyle played down that right wing. David Gray played down that right as well, so he knows what's needed from that side of the pitch, and he knows how to get the best out of Martin Boyle, and he'll know his strengths. Yes, he might have lost a wee bit of pace, but as you get a wee bit older, as you see with key players, they maybe start to improve other aspects of their game. And in Martin Boyle's case, that appears to be more from a finishing perspective. So he
Yeah.
takes it really, really well. It's a very, very tough finish. It might look
On
straightforward.
his right foot across the goalie, yeah,
He
absolutely.
makes it look straightforward, which is good. And listen, if there's anyone that you want to be on a high coming into the weekend's match, which I feel like I keep referring to, and understandably, it's
It's the next game. It's not like we're talking about a game that's 2-3 weeks in the future. It's less than a week away. It's on Thursday.
if there's anyone that knows and understands that fixture and the importance of it in that current squad, it's him. So him
He's someone
being
that you want
on
on
a
top
high,
form
and
when you're going into
yeah,
these games.
and him having confidence going into it as well is ideal. I mean, he's got 3 goals in the fixture so far, and if he can grab another assist or goal, that would be great.
Amazing. And I thought that all round the general game management towards the end of the game, something that we've not really been great at this season. I mean, but even in the last couple of weeks, you look at the Motherwell game and the Ross County game as well, the game management. Ross County maybe not so much. They kind of looked like they were going to come into it a little bit at the end, but then we ended up getting the third and seeing it through. But we looked fairly comfortable, I think, with everything that Aberdeen threw at us, which is surprising considering how good Aberdeen have been this season and how many teams they've blown out of the water or played right through. What was kind of telling for me is that Kevin Nisbet didn't even get a sniff. Wonder what's going on there. But who actually gives a fuck? But is that kind of telling of how much the players haven't chucked it? I mean, we've spoke about this a few times. You can see sometimes when managers have kind of lost it a little bit and the players aren't playing for them. But I've never seen that from this group in terms of not playing for David Gray. And you can see it even more when they're churning out performances like that.
Yeah, I think if there was, I think this maybe comes back to the rationale as to why the club maybe edged to go with David Gray. Not only just to give them from a board level perspective a little bit more security and a little bit more wiggle room to kind of get away with the nonsense that they've been getting away with for so long, but having someone like David Gray who knows the club inside out, has been there as a player, captain, coach, and now manager. If there's anyone that the players aren't going to chuck it for, it'll be him. And I think if he didn't have the minerals to step up and be the manager, I think the players probably would have chucked it by now, and especially based on the run of fixtures that we're on. But this is just goes to show that very similar to when Stuart Kettlewell went through that 16 winless game for Motherwell. I think it was last season or the season before.
Yeah, last season.
They decided to stick with him, and that obviously ended up being great. The players didn't chuck it for him because they understood what he was trying to do. And I think it's very similar here, where David Gray's still trying to find his feet, and he keeps going on and on and on about philosophy and things, and that's probably because he just doesn't have one. He just wants to win games and win games however's needed. And I think, especially in recent months, he's been finding ways to do that. And right now, the players are on a high, and he's been able to give them the right information to be able to go and execute whatever plan it is he's asking them to go and do.
For sure. And, you look at this now, and you probably, before we came into December, maybe would have had a look at this month and thought, all the way up to, before Christmas, you're thinking, we're probably not going to take an awful lot of points here. And we have. I think we've surprised ourselves in how well that we've played and the points that we've actually picked up. We're obviously on a couple of game winning streak now. Hopefully it's going to be 3 come, or maybe hopefully it's going to be 4, by the time the new year comes. Because obviously Hearts on Thursday and then Kilmarnock the following Saturday. It's or Sunday. Is it Saturday or Sunday we play the Kelly game?
It's the 29th.
Yeah. Is that
the Sunday?
Aye, it's Sunday. And that's football for a fiver as well. So if you've not got your ticket already, get onto the Hibs website and get your ticket purchased. Football for a fiver. Festive football, might I add. Might see a very full crowd there, depending on Thursday's result, but you never know.
It just goes to show what you're saying, though, because a couple weeks ago, or maybe even a month ago now, I remember saying this exact thing, that I can't see where we're going to pick up any points just because our level of performances were so poor and so low.
Yep.
Whereas now we're finding a good balance of what's needed going forward. Yes, we've maybe got the odd error in us now, but then at least we're able to score more than the opposition, which is then leading to us getting, in recent weeks, 3 goals and 3 points. Whereas now you're looking at the fixtures. Well. Yeah, you're looking at the fixtures now and you're thinking, well, we don't play Celtic until the 22nd of February, and even then that's at home. You're then looking at every fixture now and thinking we stand ourselves a really good chance. Even the Rangers at home one, if Rangers are obviously coming onto a bit of form at the minute, but if they come to Easter Road and are maybe not up to it, we have home advantage as well, and if we can get right behind the team, then we've got every chance of getting something for that as well. So just within the space of a month, I went from fucking hell, I can't see us picking up any points, to we could potentially go and win this game. We could go and beat Hearts. At the weekend, I was thinking, right, okay, I can't see us not losing to Aberdeen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, listen, I think for me, I was writing these notes earlier on, and I was thinking to myself, when do we start to look up instead of looking down? I feel like it would be so Hibs and so careless and complacent of us to go, well, that's us. We're not getting fucking relegated, are we? So we'd be as well having a look and see how many points we can claw back until we get 4th. That's what I was looking at that after the game on Saturday, and I was like, can he really afford to think like that, considering that the teams that are below us, one of them's Hearts, and you're as much as we love seeing Hearts at the bottom of the table, and it's funny as fuck. You just kind of know that they're. I don't think they're going to finish the season at the bottom.
No, and
They've
I
got
think if you look at the fixtures that we have, our next three are Hearts, Killie, and St Johnstone, right?
Mhm.
Yes, Killie are on the same amount of points as us, but they've got a horrendous goal difference. All three of them are below us. Two of
Yep.
them are directly below us in Hearts and uh, Killie, and then you've got St Johnstone who are bottom of the table, but they're only 4 points away from us, and we don't play them
Mhm.
till 9 points later, or 6 points later, because then
Nine.
obviously the nine
Nine.
points would then be against them.
Mhm.
If we can come out of this 3 games unbeaten, preferably with 2 wins and a draw, then at that point I would then probably start to be looking above us. But until we get to that point where we have a wee bit of a buffer, whereas like what St Mirren have at the minute, what Dundee United
Yep.
have at the minute, of like 6 points. At that point, I can't really start to be looking above us at the minute, and I say that only because of the fixtures that we have as well.
Can we dare ourselves to dream a wee bit though? Because it's not a foregone conclusion that we're not going to end the season in any of those European spots. They're not. They're not miles ahead. They're not. And this is me being realistic now. If we, and I know we said this at the start of the last, run of games that we had that were fairly favourable, and we were like, oh, if we can come away with this with 9 points or whatever, then we'll be right in it. And I don't, I don't want to be guilty of jinxing us again, but they're not far away, and these teams are all taking points off each other. Shaun, there's no runaway, and Aberdeen are fading away. I don't think that there's any reason why we can't be then aiming for fourth, pushing third come the end of the year. Do you know Hank?
Yes, I understand what you're saying.
I'm not. I'm trying my hardest not to get ahead of myself and be realistic. But I'm looking at that table and thinking, there's no reason why we can't. It's not
No,
like we've got a squad full of
I
shit
get it.
players that we need to replace in Jan.
I completely get it. I think for me anyway, um, at the minute, the biggest positive I can take from it is that we don't have a winter break. So as long as this momentum continues and we don't derail in any way, then yeah, you're right. We probably could get into the top six, and then we could look to push for fifth, and then fourth, and then third. Probably, yes. I'm not disagreeing with that. Um, I'm not looking too far ahead at the minute.
Watch Shaun being all diplomatic and that to bring me back down to earth. Pathetic, absolutely pathetic. Will we answer the listener question, Shaun?
Yes, let's do so.
Now it's time to answer the Hibs Ramble listener questions.
Right, first listener question, John McIntosh. Fuck the Hearts. What's for dinner? What's for Christmas dinner? Come on, Hibs. And I'll not ask you what's for dinner because that's still a long time away, but what's for lunch or what did you have for lunch?
Nothing yet.
I've not had anything yet either.
I'm on a bit of a cut. So
Oh, right. Oh, this is on purpose.
yes.
See, I was just going to have lunch after the pod. I'm going to have a ham and cheese sandwich with crisps on the side.
What flavour, sorry?
I don't know. I don't know if we've got any like actual proper crisps. We've got one of the massive bags of the novelty crisps, like the Watsits and Quavers and like the ones that the Bairns like. But they do actually they've got
Oh, the
onion
bang
rings
average
in there.
ones.
I like onion rings. I like onion rings. You like onion rings?
They're not bad, mate. I wouldn't be my go-to, but they're all right.
Nah, I wouldn't be my go-to either, but like onion rings or Watsits, I would go for onion rings. I think in the big bag it's onion rings, Watsits, like chipsticks, and the bacon ones, the frazzles.
Frazzles are good though.
Frazzles are good. It's Aldi's own though, so I mean,
Alright,
how
okay.
good can
They're
it
still
actually
decent
be?
though. I've had them.
It'll do, mate. It'll do. So you're not having lunch?
No, I will not be.
Oh well. Well, can you tell us what you're having for dinner then?
I'll be having steak. I've got
Oh,
peppercorn
things
sauce
you
as
love
well,
to
so
see.
I
God,
don't know
big
what
man.
the side will be.
Are
I'm
you on
quite
a
tempted
cut
to
because
have
it's Christmas?
No, it's just unfortunately the way that my gym pattern has fell this year. The last 2 years it's fell in a
Uh,
bulk, whereas this year it's fell in a cut. So
gutted. Gutted. But to be fair, Shaun, I think you can maybe take a couple of days off. You're good for it, mate.
in
You got the credit
fairness,
in the bank.
if I manage it correctly, and I only have one meal a day, and I make that meal, um, like Christmas dinner, for example, I'll absolutely tank through and it'll be fine.
Aye, but still. Like, what about all the sweeties for breakfast?
Well, let's just see how it unfolds. Let's not get ahead of ourselves here.
Well, let's see how it unfolds. Next up is Gav Dick. Yes, what a result. Is it worth Martin Boyle extending his contract? Superb today, along with Yuan and Nicky Cadden. You see Boyle extending his contract? When does it run out? Is it the summer?
Yeah, I don't think it will be extended. If I'm being honest, I think this will be an opportunity for him to take up that chance of playing in Australia, which is what he wants to do. I think it is this summer. It runs out. When did he come back? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think it is this summer.
Season before last.
Aye, I'm just thinking by
Next
strips.
up is
So,
Aye. Next up is James, and he says, "Where have you been till now, Hibs? What a difference in the team confidence and togetherness, making a huge difference. Rocky has been immense. Nicky Cadden and Yuan and Boyle all on fire today." I think we absolutely agree with that. Harvey Scott has asked, "Has Rocky earned a new contract yet?" A lot of contract chat tonight.
I don't know. Yes, he's been fantastic, and again, like a lot of the players in the current squad, long may it continue. But do I want better at the club? Yes. Do I think we can get better? Yes. Do I think he can improve? Yes. So I don't know. We'll see. Thankfully, that's not up to me to make those choices, and hopefully now it's up to the right people to make those choices.
Exactly. James Kinneborough says, "Fuck it." I don't know if you've seen this. He says, "Fuck it," and he's attached a picture of a bet slip, and it is Josh Campbell, 150 to 1 to score 3 or more goals on Boxing Day at Tynecastle. Thoughts on that?
I think I just unintentionally rolled my eyes to that. Listen, if it happens, I'll be absolutely delighted. Wasting money though.
Well, I mean, he's only put 25 pence on, and the returns are
Oh, right,
37.75. So if it comes in, then he spend it all at once. You know what I mean?
What's the fucking point in that? If you're
I
going to put money on it, at least make it a fiver or a tenner. If you fancy it that much, then
know.
gamble responsibly.
I think that was just for the tweet, surely for the screenshot. Yeah, but please gamble responsibly. When the fun stops, stop. I feel like that's our duty to say that. Although when the fun stopped this season, we've still continued to make podcasts. Yeah. Chuckle in Alba says, "We are back, baby." We sure are. Peter Strom says, "Is this a new thing? Hibs scoring 3 goals every game. I can live with that." More than happy. More than happy to put up 3 goals every game, Shaun. We were talking about this earlier on.
If we were to score 3 on Thursday, who would you want to score the 3 goals?
Now you're asking me.
I'll get. Do you want mine? Do you want mine?
No, I'm going to give you mine first.
Okay.
I'd love, and I'm kind of torn here between who I want to score and who I think it would be class if they scored.
Surely it's the same thing.
I'm going to go. Nah, it's not. Not for me. Okay. I want Rocky to score.
Okay.
I want Ellie Yuan to score,
Okay.
Are we going 3 different scorers?
Yeah.
Rocky, Ellie Yuan, and just to piss Craig off, Joe Newell.
Bastard, I thought you were going to go Nicky Cadden.
But
That's
no,
the
well,
that's the same
I
three
was
as me.
torn between those 3 and like Harry McCurdy, Josh Campbell, and like Jordan Smith or something. You know what I mean? Like,
If I was to script Thursday, Hearts take the lead through an unjust goal. After we've piled on the pressure for about 15-20 minutes, they go up the other end and nick one against the run of play. Just before half time, Rocky, bullet header, equaliser. Just after half time, between maybe 50 and 60 minutes, Nicky Cadden, 30-yarder. And then when Hearts are piling on the pressure in the last 10 minutes, Ellie Yuan breaks from a Hearts corner, knocks it past a couple of boys, takes it round
tips it
Craig
going.
Gordon and taps it in. Shirt
Does
off.
keep you up? He's on the line.
Shirt off. Corner flag in the air.
Oh mate, imagine.
That's a dream scenario for me because it gives them the joyous of taking the lead, but then it gives us the satisfaction of putting them to bed.
Celebrating limbs for an equaliser and for going ahead and a late winner.
Correct.
I wouldn't mind that, you know.
Doesn't get
mind
much
that.
better than that. Ideally,
like
I would want Rocky's goal to like put us in front, but I would rather the scenes from a Nicky Cadden 30-yarder and an Ellie Yuan round Craig Gordon. I'd rather that more. So
I tell you what, Shaun. To be honest, mate, I can get behind that. I can absolutely get behind it. I'm getting a wee bit horny thinking about Thursday now, by the way. I'm letting myself get excited, and I know I shouldn't, but I can't help it. Boxing Day derby, how good are festive derbies, man? So
Unreal.
good. Next up, Dean Salim says, do you believe Jordan Smith has proved himself enough to be considered the first choice, or do you still feel like we need to pick up a more experienced goalie in January? Now, I saw this earlier on, and I think...
We need a better goalie.
Yeah, we do. I think Jordan Smith's been fine, but we need someone better. And I think the obvious option is Will Dennis. Part of the Black Knights group with Bournemouth. He's not getting any game time there. He was good the last time he was up here when he was with Kilmarnock. It seems a bit like a no-brainer. So it's obviously not going to happen.
He also needs to want it as well.
Yeah, obviously. We can't just force him. We can't just handcuff him and bring him up the road. You're playing goals for us now, you prick. And you might be happy just sitting warm on the bench at Bournemouth, you know what I mean? Might be one of them.
Loads of players are these days.
I think that Jordan Smith's fine, though. He's fine to get through until January. But we've been saying this since the start of the season, that the goalies, like, we need another goalie in January. And I don't think a couple of half-decent performances from Jordan Smith changes that, because Jordan Smith gets injured or suspended, then we're having to put Cal the Dragon back in goals. And nobody wants that. And finally, just to wrap up the questions, Colin McLennan, who took a little bit of shade last week from Danny Waddle, has retorted and says, not a question, but a reply to Danny Waddle. I'll admit you're a slightly more accomplished footballer than me, but you're half my age and have twice as much grey hair.
All right.
Which I can confirm is fairly true. Danny Waddle does have a big chunk of grey hair. I don't even know if he listens to the podcast. I know that my dad does. Listen, I want to talk a tiny wee bit about Thursday before we move on, because I know you've got a beautiful 12 Days of Hibsmas quiz for us to wrap off our Christmas party podcast. I just want to... I just want to talk about it because I'm buzzing. I'm fucking buzzing now. After Saturday, it just hits different, man. It really does. Festive derby.
I think I can see the foam coming out your mouth already just at the thought of my prediction alone. So,
Oh, mate. It's not just coming out my mouth.
Hughes?
Oh, man. I'm absolutely buzzing for it. Fucking. And you know what that means, though? It's going to finish 0-0, or they'll get a penalty right at the end.
I mean, I've said for weeks that we won all, so I'm going to stick with that. But obviously, I don't want it to be that.
So I want to say 3-1. I want to say 3. And Ken, what we'll do? We'll do now predictions because Craig's not here and the game is like 2 days away. Predictions. I'm going to say neck on the line. You and Cameron, if you're listening, clip this. Hearts 0. Hibs 5.
Oh, Liam. Okay.
Bookmark this tweet.
This tweet that you've said.
Yeah. Go on then. Give me your prediction. Are you sticking with 1-1 or are you
I'll stick with 1-1.
Are you not going to give us something a wee bit sexier for the pod, for the people who've listened all the way up till this point? You're going to say fucking 1-1.
I walked you through how the game's going to go. We're going to absolutely annihilate them. Which, by the way, performance-wise, we've done in the last 5 or 6 derbies. We've been the better team. We've performed better.
A lot of people disagreed when we put that on TikTok, by the way. A lot of Hearts fans jumped on.
Well, of course they did.
And said that you were smoking crack. Shaun's been on the spice again.
I wouldn't mind that. But if objectively, if you look at the last 5 or 6 derby performances, we have edged it, if not been the better side in a lot of them, if not all of them.
I mean, the last one especially.
Obviously, results are what plays a massive part in football. It is the most important thing, and we've not got them in a lot of them. So if
What do you want there?
One of my mates always says that going into every derby, we're due them on doing, and we're like, aye, all right, that's how it works.
Mate,
right enough.
I say it every time that we go to Parkhead, that we go to Ibrox, that they come here, that we play Hearts, that we play Aberdeen. I'm like, oh, fuck, we're fucking due them. We're due them.
We're due a side of doing. It's going to be them. Aye, so it is.
I would love it to be them. I would love it to be them.
Of course you would. But I think we've scored 3 against Hearts in 2 fixtures since the turn of the century, maybe 3 fixtures since the turn of the century. So
that I can remember. Well, Millennium Derby, right?
Yeah.
Was that in 1999 or was it
1999?
2000?
1999.
Was it? So it doesn't count then.
No.
So one in the Scottish Cup and then the other one. Did we not get beat 4-3 or something?
Well, you've obviously got the Millennium Derby if you want to count that as well. You've then got the 6-2, and then you've got obviously the 3-1 in the Scottish Cup. So it doesn't happen that often, but we have scored.
Was there no a 4-4 as well at some point?
We were 4-2 up in the 90th minute. We conceded 2 and added on time to draw 4-4. So I said about that better. And I was still celebrating our 4th when they scored their 4th. I didn't even know that they'd scored their 3rd.
Rookie era.
So we've scored 4. We've scored 3 in our last 4. 4 of our last 5. Sorry, and we're creating a lot of chances as well. Yes, the Tynecastle pitch is narrow, or narrower, and the fans seem a little bit closer on your back.
I think the intensity is going to suit this group of players at this moment. At this point of the season, I think this group is going to thrive off of the intensity of a Tynecastle derby.
I think the worst thing that could have happened yesterday in regards to Hearts winning and coming.
I think that we need to put that completely out of our head, though, is we need to completely forget about what they're doing, where they are in the table, and focus on the good that we're doing and the good that's coming from our camp, because there's been so many times where I've gone into derbies thinking, oh, they're shite. They've been rubbish all season, and then they'll end up doing one over on us. But I think what we need to focus on is what we're doing well. What we're doing well is scoring goals, seeing games out, and scoring goals.
Yeah. No, I agree. Let's see what happens. The fixture will take care of itself.
Hopefully. And if it doesn't, we'll come back on the pod and we'll go, our season isn't going to be determined on games at Tynecastle. You know what I mean? So we'll get the excuses in there nice and early. Nice and early, just in case. But before we wrap up this side of Christmas, Shaun, have you got a wee quiz for me? I'm excited for this, you know.
Yeah. So we have the 12 Days of Hibsmas. So play along at home.
Do I need a pen and paper?
Will. Yeah, go for it. Go for it. So there's 12 questions, as you can probably imagine.
Yep.
And as the numbers get higher, the answer is relating to the number in some way, shape, or form, as you can probably imagine. Question number 1. I'm going to say let's go in nice and easy, but I actually don't think you'll get this one right. Name me the number 1 all-time Hibs appearance maker.
In the league.
That's embarrassing for you, by the way.
That's bad. I don't even know who our top goal scorer is either. Gordon Smith?
Yes, you're correct. It is Gordon Smith.
Is it actually?
It is, aye. It is.
Fucking get in there.
Do you want, not for a point, but do you want to hazard a guess at the appearances?
Like 570, 580?
636.
Oh, not that far away.
Never see the likes again. Okay.
No.
Number 2.
Unless Lewis Stevenson comes back for a wee while. Comes back on loan.
Name me the second all-time top goal scorer for the club.
For fuck's sake, I didn't even know the first. Second? All time? I'm going to just have to go Derek Riordan.
No. The all-time top goal scorer is Gordon Smith.
Oh, is it?
Number 2.
Some boy, eh? Smithy.
Number 2 in that list is
Eddie Turnbull.
Laurie Riley. With 238.
I would have been miles off.
So you're 1 for 2. 1 for 2. Okay, question number 3. Name me the 3 years that we won the Scottish Cup.
2016.
So here's a
1902.
clue. We've won it 3 times. So, yeah.
2016, 1902. And was it 1898?
Is that your answer, or are you asking me?
I'm going to say 1898.
You would be wrong. It's 1887.
I knew it was in the 18s. Well, obviously it was going to be in the 18s, wasn't it?
Yep. Question number 4. Name me the last 4 players to have worn the number 4 shirt.
This is a great quiz, by the way. I love this. Right. Last 4 players to have worn number 4. Marvin Ekpiteta, Paul Hanlon is
Correct.
2 of them.
Yep.
Can I spitball some before I lock in?
Just tell me when you've locked in. You can say whatever you want.
Right, okay. So Paul Hanlon is 4 all the way back to the season. Oh. Right. Zamama? Is he one of them?
Well, you tell me. Are you
You're not
locking
gonna
in,
tell
or
me,
are
yeah.
you not locking in?
You're not going to tell me.
Well, obviously I'm
But who
not,
was
because
4
that would give you the answer.
Zamama? Right. Ekpiteta, Paul Hanlon, Zamama, Chris Hogg. Final answer.
Correct.
Get in there. Chris Hogg, I've said before, I've said again, criminally underrated.
And then before that, it was Gary Caldwell, Yannick Zambernardi, and Frank Sozzi.
Yeah, but we're not counting him.
But Hogg was after Zamama.
Yeah, but I still get the point.
Aye, no, I'm just saying. Okay. Now, and I'm only saying this now because it'll make sense as we go on. There's only 12 points available. You need to get all the answers correct to get the point.
Right, okay. So I've got 2.
2 for 4, yes.
So far.
Correct. Question number 5. Since 1997-98 season, name me 5 players who are in the all-time top 50 league goal scorers that have played for Hibs.
For Hibs.
So no. So I'll explain it a little bit, right? So since 97-98, the league has been revamped 3 or 4 times, right? It's been renamed, it's been rebranded, right? So from 97-98 until right now, name me 5 players that have played for Hibs. They don't necessarily
that are in the top
scored
50
that
scorers
are
in the league.
in the
Right,
top
okay.
50.
Since then.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Derek Riordan's one. Colin Nish will be another.
Okay.
They're
They're both correct, just to confirm. So you've got 2 out of the 5.
Riordan, Nish. Would he be up there? I don't know if he would be up there. 50, because 50 is not actually that many when you think about it, is it?
Not when you consider the amount of teams that have played since 97, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right. Oh, fuck. I'm going to trip myself up here. Oh, Jesus Christ. This is difficult. This is really difficult.
There are 11 names that you can choose from.
There's 11. Right, okay. And I only need 5. If I guess one, did I get any lives on this question since there's 5 possible answers?
No.
Can you give me? Oh, come on.
If you're
Can I use a lifeline and say, can I have a life on this question, please?
You can ask questions to try and gain assistance, but I will only guide you so far.
Right, I'm going to, because he popped into my head. We were talking about him earlier. Martin Boyle. Is he in the top 50?
Are you locking that in or not?
I'm locking Martin Boyle in.
Okay, if you locked Martin Boyle in, that would be incorrect.
Right, okay, so that is my lifeline gone.
Right, okay.
Right, okay. Oh, fuck. This is really difficult.
Although I'm actually very, very surprised at Martin Boyle. This is league goals, though, mind you.
He can't be far away, though,
No.
surely.
I would imagine not.
Oh my God, people are going to be screaming at their
Maybe
podcast.
he is. Maybe Martin Boyle is in the top 50, but
maybe now.
He wasn't on the list that I looked.
Right, okay. So, you're telling me there's a chance? Right. Oh, this is fucking difficult, this. Any other players that went on to play for Celtic or Rangers?
Well, yeah. Obviously.
No, from Hibs, though.
Well, yeah. Obviously.
That went from Hibs to play for Celtic or Rangers.
Well, yeah, there's quite a few in this list that played for either of the old firm.
Right, Scott Brown. Locked in.
No.
Fuck's sake. Can I just keep going until I get 5?
Okay, but you're not getting the point.
Right. Gary O'Connor.
Yes.
The fact that Gary O'Connor's in there and Martin Boyle isn't is a fucking joke, by the way. I'll tell you that. Tell you that for free. Fucking Kenny Miller.
Yes.
Kai, you've got to give me the point if I get 5 here. Come on.
I tell you what.
Right. So,
if your next guess is correct, I'll give you the point.
right. So who've we got? Riordan, Nish, O'Connor, Kenny Miller. Oh, this is difficult because there's so many names that I've. Oh, fuck's sake. Shaun, I'm struggling here. I'm struggling. If this is right, do I get the point, please?
Yeah, if it's right.
Right. Aidan McGeady.
No.
It was a toss-up, to be fair.
Between
Aidan McGeady and Stephen Fletcher.
Alright, okay, well if you went the other one you would have got the point.
But I was thinking about the amount of time that Aidan McGeady spent at Celtic. I was like, compared to the amount of time that Fletcher was at Hibs, I was like,
Yeah.
you'd think that maybe McGeady would have scored more, but well. Just wasn't to be in the end.
Martin Boyle's only scored 43 league goals for Hibs, so he's probably just on the cusp of making it, to be fair. Right, so to put you out your misery, Stephen Fletcher was 41st on the list. Steve Lovell was 35th.
Oh, fuck.
Gary O'Connor was 30th.
Right.
Liam Craig was 28th.
Oh, see, I didn't think about players that hadn't played for the old firm.
Stevie Crawford was 25th. Colin Nish was 24th.
Craig Brewster would have been up there as well, I bet you.
Chris
No?
Commons
Oh, fuck.
was 21st. Riordan was 8th. Miller was 6th. Anthony Stokes was 5th. And Lee Griffiths was 3rd.
What on earth? How did I miss Griffiths and Stokes?
So no point for you.
How did I miss Griffiths and Stokes?
Moving on to the next question. Question number 6. Name me 6 away grounds Hibs have played at in the league so far this season. Spoiler, we've played at 9 so far
In the league?
in the league.
Parkhead,
Yep,
Ibrox,
Yep.
Dens,
Yep.
Tannadice, Love Street, New St Mirren Park, whatever you want to call
I'll give you it.
it. And Pittodrie.
There you go. Cool. Yeah, and I'm glad you went with the names because I wasn't accepting teams. I wanted names of grounds.
Good. Well, I'm glad that we telepathically communicated that to each
You
other
just
through the
you
screen.
just understand my standard of quizzes.
We're just on the same wavelength, mate. That's a
Question number 7. Excluding David Gray, name me the last 7 permanent Hibs managers.
the last 7, excluding David Gray. So Nick Montgomery,
Yep.
Lee Johnson,
Yep.
Shaun Maloney,
Yep.
Jack Ross, Paul Heckenbottom.
Yep.
How many is that?
You've got 2 to go, so that's 5.
So before Heckenbottom, it was Neil Lennon.
Yep.
Before Neil Lennon, it was Alan Stubbs.
There you go. There's your 7. Well done. There's your point. So you got a point for the last 2. Well done.
Yes, I'm on a roll.
Name me the last number 8 to score versus Hearts. For Hibs.
I think it was Ricardo Vazte.
I don't think he wore number 8, and even if he did, he's not the answer to this question because someone more recently wore it in the name of Dr. Dre Wright.
Oh, that Milo was born on that day as well. I should remember that. I'm sure Vazte wore 8.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sure.
You'll need to double check that. So what?
I think because I've been searching the internet for that goal for years and years and years, and I finally found it. I found footage of it, and I'm sure he wears number 8 because he crosses himself after he scores.
So you've got 4 points, and we're on question 9.
All right, so I'm not hitting your target at 7, am I?
Not unless you get the rest correct, I guess. Right, number 9. Name me 9 players who have scored a league goal so far this season.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Nicky Cadden.
Yep.
Ellie Yuan.
Yep.
Martin Boyle.
Yep.
Rocky Bashiri.
Yep.
That's 4. Right. Who else? Kieran Bowie scored 1.
Yep.
Dwight Gale scored 1.
Yep.
Junior Hoylett scored 1.
Yep.
That's 7, and I need 9.
Yep.
Kukarevich has scored 1.
Mm-hmm.
And is there only 9 answers?
Nope.
Warner Hora scored 1 as well.
Yep. There's 12 answers, and Miko's scored 3 instead, not 1. But yeah, there you go.
I know. I meant he scored
Aye.
1, scored 1, scored 1.
Cool.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, there you go. Got a point for that one. So you're on 5.
Happy days.
Since the turn of the century, players who have worn the number 10 shirt have scored 22 goals versus Hearts.
Oh.
They might not have scored them all while wearing the number 10, but they wore the number 10 at Hibs.
Right. Okay.
Name me the 7 players that have scored those 22 goals.
Right. Okay. And they've not necessarily all worn 10 at the time.
Correct, right. So
we'll get one of them out of the way with Martin Boyle.
Yeah, so I'll give you that out of the way. So Martin Boyle wore 77 when he scored the equaliser, but he wore 10 when he scored the other 2. So that counts as 3 towards the 22.
Right. Derek Riordan.
Yep.
Who else wore 10? Not Tavares. Remember he wore 10? That's ridiculous.
He did.
I'm trying to concentrate here, and Megan and Myler in another room singing Jingle Bells. This is not the quiz conditions that I was looking forward to. Right. Boyle, Riordan, Who the fuck else is wore number 10, Sean?
Just,
I'm having a mind blank.
you know what to do, right? Think about players that have wore the number 10 shirt since the turn of the century, and then try and work out
Yeah.
if they have scored against Hearts.
Right, okay. Good point. Colin Nish, did he score against Hearts? I don't think so. Or did he? No, I don't think so. I don't think he did. But he wore number 10, right?
Yep.
Is he an answer?
Are you telling me he's an answer? Because if you get one wrong, you don't get the point.
No, Sean, don't do this to me again. Right, we'll put a pin in Colin Nish and come back to him. Benji. Locking him in.
Benji is correct.
Oh, fucking hell. It was like the X Factor. Yeah. Who else is war number 10?
3 correct, 4 to go, and you get the point.
Oh, there's 4. Oh, there are only 4 players to go.
7, yes. So seven players since the turn of the century have worn number 10 and scored against Hearts. There's obviously
Right,
many
okay.
more that have wore the number 10.
Yeah. Right. Scott Allen.
Yep. So there's 4. 3 to go.
That's a niche one, eh? I bet you thought I wasn't going to get that.
No, I thought that one was pretty obvious because I thought you would have worked your way back against goals versus Hearts, and then you would have worked at the shirt numbers for there.
No, because Scott Allen never wore 10 when he scored against Hearts. He wore 10 like those couple of games before he moved to Celtic, remember?
Yep.
Right, who else? I don't think Dylan McGeoch scored against Hearts. He wore 10 for a while, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
And before McGeoch 10 would have been Scott Allen 10. And before Scott Allen 10 was Liam Craig, and he scored against Hearts.
Correct. 5 down, 2 to go.
And before Liam Craig was 10, it would have been...
All I'm saying is the people that are either listening or watching will be screaming at their device.
Well, before Liam Craig was 10, it was Owen Doyle. And it wasn't him. And before it was him, it was... I can't remember who was 10 in that season. I'm fucking struggling here. I'm struggling. I need to go back all the way to start at the turn of the century.
Well, the answers start from the turn of the century, so
No, but I need to go is there an answer all the way back there?
well,
Because
that's where I'm starting the answers. So then, obviously,
Right,
that's
okay.
the case.
See, I'm not very clued up on my squad numbers from that era of Hibs history. Can I get a wee clue? Can I use my clue lifeline, please?
Yes, you can. One of them only wore number 10 very, very briefly, but wore number 9 and 14. That's one clue for one player. Another clue for another player is they are... How do I word this without giving it away?
Give it away if you want, mate.
The other one is a legend within the club
A legend.
and has a very, very famous goal versus Hearts
Fuck's
at Easter Road.
at Easter Road. Famous goal. Latape.
Yep.
Another one wore 9 and 14.
Yep. And the other one had 2 spells at the club as well.
He had 2 spells at the club. Any of them like in the last 10 years?
No.
No. Alright, well. I don't think I'll get this one. Can you give me another wee clue? Just a wee one.
He's bald and has managed the club.
Oh, Mick Supatalainen.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
I didn't know he wore number 10.
I think he wore I wore number 10 like a handful of times, so I don't know if it was actually an assigned number.
I'll take it.
He wore 9.
Are you giving me that point? Even though
I'll give you the point
coached?
only on the basis that he barely actually wore number 10. But well done.
I'm more surprised that I got the Scott Allen one, to be honest.
Right, okay. Number 11. So if you get this, you've hit my target of 7.
Oh,
Name me
here we go.
11 players who have worn the captain's armband for Hibs. Not necessarily club captain, just ever.
Right, Boyle wore it at the weekend.
Yep.
For a while. Joe Newell, Paul Hanlon, David Marshall, Rob Jones, David Gray, Darren McGregor's probably worn it.
He has.
Who else? Liam Craig, James McPake,
2 to go.
Ian Murray,
Yep.
and oh fucking hell, this is difficult. My mind's gone completely blank now. Scott Brown.
Correct. Well done. Did you say Joe
We
Newell?
needed a quick one there.
Did you say Joe Newell?
Yes.
Okay. The only reason I ask is because question 12 is relating to Joe Newell. Club captain Joe Newell.
I tell you what, actually, I didn't tell you. I saw him at Marks and Spencer's at the Fort on Friday morning.
Lovely.
He was picking up flowers.
Lovely.
And I told him, "Have a Merry Christmas, Joe." And he said, "Cheers, pal."
Did that make you feel nice and warm and fuzzy inside?
Yeah, and then the day after, on the Saturday, I saw Harry McCurdy at St James Quarter when I was waiting on Megan coming out of her feedy test, which she passed. Well done, Megan.
Well done.
Round of applause. I saw Harry McCurdy and I had like triple tape because I was like, "The fuck are you doing here?" And I ended up just going like, because he must have seen me looking at him, and I was like, "Ah." And he kept looking at me, and I just ended up going, "All right." And he went,
I think I seen Mariah Welsh on Saturday night, and I had to like triple take as well because I was like, should you not be in Aberdeen? Like, should you not be on the way back down the road? Like, but aye, whatever. So anyway, club captain Joe Newell has scored 12 goals, and we're on question 12 for Hibs. Name the sides that he has scored his goals against.
Okay. Kilmarnock.
Yep.
St Mirren.
Yep.
Dundee United.
Yep.
Luzerne.
Yep.
Has he scored against 12 teams?
No. So I'll help you out.
Because I feel like he scored against St Mirren a couple of times.
He scored against St Mirren twice. He scored against Kelly 3 times.
All right, so that's knocking 5 off already.
Yeah. He scored against another side twice. And the rest are all wins.
Right, okay. So how many have I got to get here?
So you've got Kelly.
How many teams do I need to get?
So you've got
I've
Kelly,
got
and you've got St Mirren.
Luzerne, Dundee United.
You've got Luzerne and Dundee United, which were both 1 goal.
Right, okay. So that's 2, 5, 6, 7. That's me on 7 out of 12.
So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 to go. 4 sides.
4 sides. Right. Fuck. All Scottish teams. No. Andorra. Andorran team. Interdiscaldes.
Correct.
He scored against them. Let me think. The rest are all Scottish teams. Now, has he scored he's not? I don't think he scored against Aberdeen. Has he scored against Celtic or Rangers? I don't think so.
I'll help you out. So you've got 3 sides left to get and 4 goals.
Right.
One of the sides are currently in the league. The other 2 games, or the other 2 sides, were in the League Cup group stages.
Right, okay. Oh, so I think one of them, it was like Brecon or something, wasn't it? somewhere up there. Elgin?
Were you looking that in?
I'm going to say Elgin.
Yep, correct.
Elgin is one. Bonnyrigg Rose
Yep.
was the other. And the other team is in the league right now,
Yep.
and he scored twice against them.
No. He scored 2 in the Bonnyrigg game.
Oh, right. Oh, another team is in the league right now.
Yep.
Ross County keeps jumping out at me, but I don't know if it's Ross County.
Remember, you need to get this one right to get the point.
I know.
And then you get 8 out of 12.
I've already hit the target, so. Right, who's in the league? Aberdeen, Celtic, Rangers, Hibs, Hearts, Motherwell, St Mirren, Kelly, St Johnstone, Ross County. I'm going to say Ross County. It just keeps jumping out at me.
Cool. Can you remind me who scored against Aberdeen in the 3-3?
What? Oh, fucking right, aye.
Literally 3 weeks ago.
And I was there for that goal. I left it 2-1 as well.
So yeah, that one was
That's
Aberdeen.
annoying. That's really annoying. I'm glad I managed to pick out Elgin and Oren team as well. The Scaldes.
So there we go. There we have it. There's the 12 days of Hibsmas quiz. Hope you enjoyed that.
And it took about 12 days to do it as well because I was absolutely fucking murder at it. But listen, thank you so much if you've got this far. We really appreciate it. Everyone, I hope everyone has a fantastic Christmas, especially yourself, Shaun. We are obviously going to be back after the Boxing Day game, and then it's kind of pretty hectic between Christmas and New Year, so we'll definitely speak to you after the Hearts game, and after then, we'll hopefully get to you after the Kilmarnock game, and then should be normal, natural order resumed after the St Johnstone game. So, yeah, thank you for listening. Thanks for all your support throughout the year. Have a wonderful Christmas. Follow us if you don't already. And see you. Bye.
Let's get ready to rumble.